A lot of people say all these illegal factories are contributing to this, and there's no doubt that they are correct. That ultimately what gets into the water, if you look at the current spills, involve oils or chemicals. And oils and chemicals are produced not only as a result of industrial activity, but also commercial activity. And also in some components, oils can even be from residential activity, including organic waste. But the main culprits appear to be these hazardous chemicals that are coming out of industrial/commercial type processes. Now, once again, the responsibility of ensuring the removal of scheduled waste, that is waste that cannot be just put into the river, lies with the Department of Environment. So in many cases where you hear of situations where somebody is operating a factory, if that factory had received approval, there would be conditions imposed by the Department of Environment. And those conditions would include how those wastes are supposed to be disposed of. And there is an issue as to who then ensures that they do that. And again, this responsibility falls on the Department of Environment, not on the local authority. But be that as it may, if the factory is illegal, then certainly, as many of you have raised in the media, why can't they just be demolished and closed down? And that is a very, very good question. In fact, factories that have not got proper approval should not be allowed to operate. Their building plans should not be approved, and they should be demolished. Now, it is common that in many cities, we have such factories, such buildings, and I believe in Selangor, there was an attempt to legalize them. In other words, they say, you can have this factory, but your land, for instance, is agriculture. The zoning is agriculture, or the zoning does not allow you to do that. And a time frame is fixed for you to legalize it, which includes also compliance with whatever disposal of your waste, so on and so forth. And I believe that it is important that if you do allow legalization, there must be firm time limits. That is, if a time limit is set and this is not done, then the factory must be demolished and it must not be allowed to operate. And I believe, again, as announcements have said, that they've given an extension to December. Well, I hope that's it. After December, if any of these factories no longer have legalized or complied with the law, then unfortunately, in the interest of public safety and security, they cannot be allowed to operate. But that alone is insufficient. It is critical, as suggested earlier, and I reinforce this point, that an audit is taken. That is, every factory open, whether legal or semi-legal, pending full legalization, there is an audit done in terms of what are the byproducts, pollutants, or contaminants that are in fact discharged from that factory. What is the volume and how are they being disposed? In other words, there must be documentation showing whether a scheduled waste contractor is collecting them, that scheduled waste contractor is actually paid, how is that scheduled waste contractor disposing of this, and where are they disposing it to? And all these must be in fact tracked. And therefore, it is important that this be done immediately, factory by factory. And I believe local government can help together with the Department of Environment. And in this respect, the best solution to this would be a joint task force headed, whereby all these various enforcement agencies sit together, including police. And if the federal government feels it is of such importance that security areas have to be zoned up, then in fact the armed forces may be called to assist the police, as they are doing in COVID-19. And with this joint task force, instructions are given, much like currently in COVID-19, the Ministry of Health does issue very, very severe instructions that can close businesses down or cease the operation. And thereby, of course, properly funded, they'll be able to go one by one to these areas and be able to put in some form of control so that we can account, every factory has got to account for the waste it produces. And this would be a better enforcement strategy. This requires cooperation between the federal and state governments, and it'll only happen if both governments accept that a threat to water security is a threat to national security. Thank you.